Welcome, welcome! It's my dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today I wanted to talk about the Kr'Thak. The Kr'Thak is an alien race that had some long-term wars with the Xi'an called the Spirit Wars. We don't really know a whole lot about them other than that, and that they are mortal enemies with the Xi'an, and vice versa. But I wanted to take you way back. Now, how long has the Kr'Thak been in the Star Citizen universe? Well, this first article I found was dated February 12th, 2013. That's a long time ago. A really long time ago. I mean, we're moving into 2022 almost. So that was almost 9 years ago. This article was written, it's called a news update, the Kr'Thak, and it had a showdown. It's some sort of, show that's all over the wave, all over the spectrum. And the host is Araya Quint, and his guest is Mark Coe. Now, I tried doing voices for this and it sounded silly, so I'm just going to say their names and what they say. So Araya Quint starts off, "Welcome to this episode of Showdown. Tonight we are joined by Mark Coe, SSN's foreign policy consultant." Mark Coe says, "Glad to be here." Araya Quint says, "At the start of the quarter session, the Senate officially opened discussions as to whether the UEE should attempt to establish relations with the Kr'Thak. They've been a hot topic since their existence was revealed late last year. Due to their tumultuous history with the Xi'an Empire, the issue has been a political and logistical minefield. So Mark, we'll start out with the basic question. Should the UEE attempt to contact the Kr'Thak?" Mark: "Absolutely. Frankly, I'm stunned that the government's just getting around to discussing this now. The Kr'Thak are a sentient, spacefaring race, and we know next to nothing about them. We should, at the very least, attempt diplomatic relations." Araya: "Unfortunately, it's not that simple. We're not talking about the Banu or even the Vanduul. The Kr'Thak systems are on the other side of Xi'an Empire. What are we going to tell the Xi'an? Hey, don't mind us. We're just passing through. We're going to try to broker a trade deal with your sworn enemy. I'm sure that'll go over well." Mark: "They aren't at war now. They should. Why should they care? I mean, I think you're being too dismissive of the Xi'an. Yeah, they have a long lifespan, so they are still veterans of the Spirit Wars, but I think we can all agree the Xi'an don't run on emotion." Araya says, "Fine, so they won't overreact. But won't they absolutely see it as a strategic disadvantage to have two civilizations, one of which is civil but tense, and the other hostile, surrounding them?" Mark: "Again, I think you're underestimating the Xi'an. Sure, we aren't the best of friends, but you're treating them like it was the height of the Messer era. I think it's silly not to open up a channel of communication with another species with the hope of exchanging ideas, history, and culture simply because it might annoy the Xi'an." Araya: "Well, sorry, but this is diplomacy. There aren't a lot of opportunities for takebacks." Mark: "Are you serious?" Araya: "I'm not done." Mark: "Diplomacy is all about takebacks. What are..." Araya: "Please let me finish. The Xi'an Emperor has repeatedly stated that the Kr'Thak are an enemy of the Xi'an. If we attempt to contact them, they are going to factor that into their relations with us, which will ratchet up their military presence along our border, even as a precaution, which will then cause us to match them. Next thing you know, we're sitting right back at Mirror State, and I'm still not hearing a solution outside of sheer espionage regarding crossing Xi'an territory to even get to the Kr'Thak." Mark: "So you're suggesting we just ignore them?" Araya: "Not at all. I think we should go through the Xi'an." Mark: "Excuse me, what do you mean?" Araya: "Well, let the Xi'an know our intention to contact the Kr'Thak. Make them part of the process." Mark: "You said yourself that Emperor Kree regards the Kr'Thak as enemies of the Xi'an Empire. You really think they'd go for that?" Araya: Maybe, maybe not. But it's one way to communicate without alienating them. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll help smooth the relations between the two of them. Mark replies, I don't know. It sounds like you're opening a large window of opportunity for the Xi'an to compromise diplomacy. Araya, who's underestimating them now? Mark. Well, if you're using them as middlemen, and it's in their best interest to keep us from establishing a beneficial relationship with the Kr'Thak, why wouldn't they manipulate the situation to their advantage? Hell, I'd be shocked if they didn't do that. Araya. But it's a solution to the astrographic issue of their location. Mark. I suppose, but it's naive to think the Xi'an will forget centuries of war and animosity and suddenly play nice. Araya. It's better than no contact at all. We're going to take a break. When we come back, controversial lobbyist Cornell Mars will join us. Mars made headlines recently with his unique perspective on the Kr'Thak situation. So, join us as we reload for another showdown. Alright, so that was the article that was written way, way back in February of 2013. What do you guys think? How should the UEE approach relations with the Kr'Thak? Should they go through the Xi'an? Should they try to circumvent them? If you were in charge of contacting the Kr'Thak, how would you go about doing it? I personally, will treat it like any alien contact situation. I want to figure out a way that I can be diplomatic with them. So, with the Banu, it's easy. You just trade with them, they're happy. Make a good deal, bad deal, they don't care as long as they're making money off of it. The Xi'an, you're going to have to win over their trust. So I think you're going to have to utilize some of your Xi'an tech, maybe even Xi'an vessels, and begin some sort of trading along their border. Eventually, you'll probably build up a reputation with the Xi'an, and they'll allow you inside the border. Now, the question is how many systems they'll let you go into. But eventually, I imagine you'll build up such a reputation with them that they will allow you free access to roam their territory. And that gives you the capability of moving in to the Kr'Thak space, if you can find it. What you'll find there, I don't know, since we know so little about them. We don't even know what they look like. We don't know their culture, their history, anything like the article said. So I'm interested in finding out more. Would you guys be in favor of CIG doing some sort of art competition to create the Kr'Thak race if it hasn't been drawn up before? Or do you imagine this race to be like the Kilrathi of the Wing Commander series, since, it is Chris Roberts? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I personally envision the Kr'Thak being some Lovecraftian race, kind of like Krakens or mind flayers from the D&D world, just something with tentacles and psionic powers. What do you guys think? Do you think they should have telepathy and the ability to get in your mind, or the ability to put some sort of seedling inside of you and it'll sprout and kill you in the process? What do you guys think? Should it be some horror show like that? I think that would be kind of cool personally. That's kind of what I vision for the Kr'Thak, is a race that's like that. Maybe you guys have different ideas. So how would you treat relations with them? I mean, do you think they would open fire immediately? Especially if you're probably going to be in a Xi'an ship of some kind. You may have to change ships out somehow when you get to the border of Xi'an Kr'Thak space. I don't know how you manage that either. Maybe you can purchase a Kr'Thak vessel, if they even have one. We don't even know if they use vessels. Maybe it's a bioengineered creature. Kind of like what Leviathans were on Farscape. Could be. I also envision trying to build relations with the Vanduul in a similar way. You would have to, first of all, be a Banu, or at least have a Banu ship, and somehow open trade with, those that were open to trading with the Banu, because there's only a few Banu that can do it. That would be a nightmare in itself. Are the Kr'Thak as dangerous as the Banu, or the Vanduul rather? Are they, shoot first, take names later? I mean, what are we thinking about for the Kr'Thak? We just don't know. Again, I'm interested in finding out more, but it's going to require probably somebody traveling there. I know with my org and our plans, that's not something directly in the works, but it's something I definitely want to be able to foster, is that relationship with the Xi'an, to where I can pass through their systems freely. So I don't want any wars breaking out. I don't want to start a UEE Xi'an war, something I do, and I don't think the game will let us do that. I don't think CIG is going to let us go to that extreme. We probably could impact local governments or something like that in a very small way. But you don't want to be enemy number one for the Xi'an. They're more advanced than humanity is, and they have much longer lives, which means they have much longer memories. So I would definitely be more inclined to befriend them, trade with them, and see if you can't scout beyond their borders. So guys, thank you once again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. It really does help me on the YouTube algorithm. Hit that little bell icon to let you know when I do more of these videos. Also, you can contribute to the channel by watching the ads all the way through or clicking on them. That helps a little bit. It also helps if you go to YouTube members and become a member. You can do that for as little as $1 or join the Patreon. Every little bit helps. You guys have really saved my butt a couple of times in the last year by contributing to the channel, and I really do appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. So thank you very much. If you guys are new to the game and it looks like a game you want to be a part of, definitely use my referral code down below, as it'll get you 5,000 bonus credits, and that'll help me towards my goal of getting to 1,042. I'm a long ways off. So every little bit helps. With that said, thank you once again. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.